Have you ever experienced a season in your life where you're like, wait, who am I now? And it's not because you failed, and it's not because you lost yourself, but because your life changed. Maybe you went from single to married. Maybe you went from being without a child to becoming a mom. Or maybe you relocated to a new place that's completely different from the place you were used to. If you've ever experienced a season like that, or if you're currently experiencing a season like that where your current situation doesn't fit the old you, this video is for you. Hi friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Nika and I create videos for women who want to live purpose-driven life. And today I want to talk about something that many people don't talk about, and it's about transitions and going from one phase of your life to the other phase and how that shifts and changes your identity. So let's talk about it. Let me be honest with you. There was one period in my life where I just knew I had everything figured out. I knew I had figured out myself. I was living in New York City. I was very career oriented, very independent, and I thought I was single at the time and I thought I just had everything figured out. But then, God blessed me tremendously and I got married. I became a mom. I moved away from the city to the suburbs and everything was great. This was a blessed season, a great season for me. But at the same time, I remember it shifted my identity in so many ways because used to being this one person. Who am I now? And I had left my job for that season. So here I was, a new stay-at-home mom at the time with a new baby. I was married, like I said, lived in the suburbs. I was like wondering, who am I now, right? I didn't live close to my friends or my family anymore. So I was going through and growing through this new identity that was different from what I was used to. And I remember at one point during all this newness and, my new life, I was like, wait, did I lose who I was before? And obviously I didn't, right? I was changing and I was evolving and I was becoming someone else. And that sometimes can come with growing pains because you're not the same person you were before. You don't want the same things that you wanted before. You are blossoming and becoming someone new, and you're becoming used to that. Like, who is this person? This person is different than the person you knew your entire life. Ecclesiastes 3 reminds us that there's a time and a season for everything. It's up to us to know our times and our seasons, right? It says there's a time to plant, there's a time to uproot, there's a time to weep, there's a time to dance, there's a time to be seen, there's a time to be hidden. But a lot of times, with those times, they're transitions. Seasons, there transition periods within those times, and sometimes there is friction going on in those transitions, but we have to pay attention, right, to our lives and to our specific times and purposes so that you're not stuck looking back at the past, or stuck grieving for where we are, or just not appreciating where we are. There's a time and season in every one of our lives. So how can we thrive as women as we're going through transitions and changes in our lives? Well, one of the first things is to realize that when we're going through changes in our lives, God is developing and refining us because, like I said, you are shedding off that old skin and becoming someone new. It's kind of like when you first become saved, when you first become a Christian, you are becoming someone new. And that process is not often easy because you're leaving your old life behind. And so similarly, while you're going through the transition and becoming acclimated to your new life, you are in fact becoming someone new. And so your new season may require something different from you than your old season required. Actually, not maybe, it will require something different. It may require a certain level of strength that you didn't have to show before. It may require you to focus on a different area of your life. Like, for example, in my situation, I was very focused on my career, but when I became a mom, I was very focused on my new baby for that period in my life, right? For the period where I decided to stay home and focus on him. I was focused on building community because here I was in a different state, a different location where I didn't have family and friends. So I had to reach out and build community through my church and through other organizations. So different seasons will require different things from you. Number two, you're allowed to grieve old versions of yourself. God never asks us to deny our feelings. He tells us to bring our feelings to Him. And there might be moments or days where you will grieve old versions of your life, even though you're very grateful for your current life. You know, for example, I remember grieving certain of my friends because I didn't get to see them as much or spend time with them as much. And I missed them because, like I said, I was in a different location. I was farther away. I was in a different state. So there were times when I'm like, oh, I wish so-and-so was here, or I wish I lived closer. Oh, I wish I could go and just, meet up with so-and-so and have some coffee and just girl time and things like that. But I brought it to God. I didn't deny how I felt because sometimes, people repress their feelings or they feel guilty for missing certain aspects of their old life. But that's okay. You're human. It's natural. You can bring those feelings to God. You don't have to deny your feelings or pretend. It's a part of the transition process. And the third thing, and this one is really, really important, is not to compare seasons. Do not compare your life and your season to anyone else. What does that mean? It means don't compare your motherhood season to someone else's single season. You know what? Maybe you can't go on that many trips right now, or you just can't do certain things right now, and that's okay. That's their season and that's your season. And there is someone comparing themselves to your season, wishing they were in your season. So my advice is to be grateful for the season that you're in. And another thing is, when you're comparing your seasons, is sometimes you're missing what God is teaching you in your season, right? Maybe you're comparing your quiet season to someone's visible season, but maybe God is developing something inside you before you go to a season of visibility. Like, looking back, I think about when my children were newborns or when they were much younger, even though they're still young, but even when they were much younger, like there was so much beauty in those seasons, so much that I learned, so much refining that took place and needed to take place inside of me and inside my heart. So value those seasons. I'm telling you, you will look back one day and say, oh, I wish I paid more attention, or I wish I realized the season that God had me in and what He was developing within me. So whatever season you are in, even if it's a difficult one, don't miss what God is teaching you in your season. Let me leave you with this. Whoever God is shaping you to be right now, whoever He's forming you to be, let Him do His work. You will look back and just be so grateful. Take it from me. The season that He has you in right now is for a purpose and it's for a reason. So stay and be encouraged. And if you like this video, please comment below, share it with someone who it could encourage. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe for more videos like this one.